All right, guys, welcome back. We are going to get started on lesson 2.08, getting the actual rough draft written on our persuasive essay. So to do that, let's go up to content. So the steps you need to go to get here, of course, is log into OLS. On the left-hand side, you click classes, then click English class, and then from the top, you would hit content. Here we have our table of contents out to the side, and we are ready to do the writing workshop 2.08. And click on that. Scroll up so I can see it over here. We have 3 parts: the lesson introduction, the learn, and the assignment. Always start with the lesson introduction. Writing a persuasive essay. You are almost ready to use your outline to begin drafting your essay. So if you haven't completed the 2.07 of having an outline, you need to be sure you have your outline before you start this lesson. So pause this lesson, get that completed, and then come back. All right, great. Now that you have your outline made, think about how you want to present your main points. Do you want to anticipate arguments and tell why your viewpoint is better, as did the writer of A Cat Is Not a Can of Soup? Or do you want to present your main points without referring to other arguments? Before you begin writing, review the important elements of a persuasive essay. Double check your information to make sure you have enough evidence to back up your claims. Decide whether you want to create a point, and if so, where that information belongs in your essay. All right, go to slide 2. There's our student guide. We always open up that student guide. It has our lesson objectives, and it has the materials that we're going to need to prepare. And sometimes it has, excuse me, sometimes it has important vocabulary terms. Let's go ahead and download the assignment. And it opened up on my second screen here, so let me pull it over. As always, we want to click on this Enable Editing button. So it says, begin writing your, edit anyway. Begin writing the rough draft of your live paragraph persuasive essay. Use your outline as a map to help you work through your essay. Submit your outline and rough draft. You will not turn in your rough draft or outline. Do have your learning coach look over them and help you in any way they can support you. As if you would like for me to look at it, that's fine. You can email it to me and we can meet in open office to discuss ways to improve it. As you're writing, remember to follow the guidelines for writing a persuasive essay. Write an introduction with a hook and a claim, a thesis statement. Use reasons and evidence to support the topic sentence. Avoid logical fallacies when you write supporting statements. Include counterclaims to strengthen your argument. Use transitions to connect ideas. Either restate your thesis or provide thought-provoking remark in your conclusion. Connect your essay's claim to a larger idea, and complete and submit a bibliography that lists print and multimedia sources. Remember, if you don't have reduced written assignment, you're supposed to have a minimum of 5 sources, 2 of being hard copy, like a book or a magazine, 2 being digital, like something off the internet, and then the last one you get to choose. If you do have reduced written assignment, then you at least need to have 3. 1 that is digital, 1 that is hard copy, and then the third one can be your choice. Complete and submit the bibliography, and you will submit a bibliography to me in the final draft. Review, it'll be the very last page of your essay, which your essay should be about a page. If you do not have reduced written assignment, it should be about a page and a half. If you do have reduced written assignment, it should be a good quarter of a page to a page. Review the grading rubric so that you understand how your assignment will be graded. All right. I'm going to put this back over here so we can reference it when it's time. And I'm going to go ahead and download the rubric. It's important to know how you're going to be graded. Where did that download at? I'm not seeing. Oh, I'm not seeing where it downloaded. Oh, it uploaded over here. Here we go. Again, click Enable Editing. This is what I'm going to look at as I grade your paper, your submission and go formative. Just like I did with your personal narrative, I'm going to have this pulled up as I'm reading. The first time I read it just for fun, okay? So the criterion, you need to have an outline. You do not have to turn in your outline to me. So as long as it's organized, you're going to get full points for this. Criterion, organization, write a persuasive essay with clear introduction, body, and conclusion. So you should have multiple paragraphs. Okay, remember, each point is going to get its own paragraph. So there should at least be a minimum of 3, maybe up to 5, 6, maybe 7 at the most. All right. You want it to be exactly follow the format for a 5-paragraph persuasive essay. The draft should include an introduction with a clear claim, a thesis statement, and a hook for the reader's interest. A 3-paragraph body detailing reasons and evidence that support the claim, and a concluding paragraph summarizing the information, restating the author's position, complete and accurate bibliography. Again, if you have a reduced written assignment on an IEP, this is going to be varied a little bit. Instead of it being 5 paragraphs, it's just going to be 3. 1 introductory, 1 body, 1 conclusion. Content, use reasons and evidence to support the thesis statement. You want to present clear topic sentences in each 3 body paragraphs as a reason that supports the main claim. Support each claim with evidence throughout the paper using facts to back up the author's main argument. Conclusion, summarizes the claim, main thesis, and concluding paragraph. It connects claims, reasons, and evidence to one larger idea. So to get an A on this, or as many points possible, you need to present a well-developed conclusion to the essay. Concluding paragraph summarizes the main points of the information presented in the essay. Concluding paragraph should also summarize the author's claim, relate the author's position on the subject, and connect to a larger idea. Counterclaims. I would like to see 1 or 2 of these. Incorporate counterclaims to strengthen the argument. Effectively and objectively incorporate counterclaims to strengthen your argument. Organize and transition. So you see patterns of organization, meaning and transitions, clearly and smoothly linked ideas. Mechanics and conventions. As always, when you're turning in a final copy, now this is your rough draft. I am not grading your rough draft, but this is the same rubric I'm going to use to grade your final copy. So be sure that you take time to revise and edit. Look for spelling, capitalization, grammar, punctuation, errors. All right. That is the overall of the rubric. Don't look down here for what's the minimum, because again, aim small, miss small. If you aim for the highest, if you miss, you're going to still make a B, maybe a C. But if you aim for only a C and you miss it, you can easily find yourself in the D or F category. So let's not do that. Let's aim, remember, for excellence. Always strive to do your very best. All right, now we're going back to this main paragraph here. And we're going up to the next one. And do write with the end in mind. Write this rough draft with your final copy in mind. Review reasons and evidence. Remember that in a persuasive essay, reasons are the main ideas that support your claim, while evidence consists of the details, facts, and data that back up your reasons. As you're writing, you should always keep in mind the idea that your reasons and evidence have to connect to your original claim. Let's check out an example from A Cat's Not a Can of Soup. The claim is adopting a pet from the Ferndale shelter is often a wiser move than buying one. Reason. On the other hand, a definite point of favor for the Ferndale shelter is that only animal lovers work there, and there are plenty of them to give the animals good care. Slide 2. Evidence. Check out another example of evidence from A Cat Is Not a Can of Soup. During my visit to the shelter, I learned that it's 2 paid staff members and 13 volunteers spend time with every animal. How does it connect back to the author's reason and thesis? Think about that for a second. Let's check and see if your thinking is correct. This evidence supports the author's reason why adopting a pet from the shelter is a wise choice. What the workers love about animals and spend a lot of time with them. Every reason in a persuasive essay should connect back to the author's original claim. What is the claim of a persuasive essay? Think of your answer. Check and see. In a persuasive essay, the claim or thesis statement is the author's main argument. Number 2, what is the function of the reasons in a persuasive essay? Think of your answer. Maybe jot it down. Check and see. In a persuasive essay, the reasons presented are the topics that support the author's claim. Again, it might be a good idea to copy and paste these questions and answers into your 2.7 review document. I wouldn't make up a whole new one for this one because there's no test associated with it, and there's just not as much to go over. Number 3, what is the function of evidence in a persuasive essay? Think of your answer. Let's check and see if you're right. In a persuasive essay, the evidence presented includes the facts, details, and data that back up the author's reasons. All right, slide 3. The conclusion of persuasive essay. Once you have introduced your topic and presented your reasons and evidence, you have to find a way to conclude your essay. The conclusion is the last thing the reader sees, so it's important that you make it effective. Remember, readers always remember the first and last things they read. The conclusion can serve 2 purposes. Review the conclusion to A Cat's Not a Can of Soup. Note how the author reiterates her opinion on the topic in her final paragraph. Whether you agree that these animals are more faithful and affectionate or not, I think that you really can't argue with at least visiting the Ferndale shelter. You won't be wasting your time, and you just might find the perfect pet for your family. Number 1, what are 2 things you can include in the conclusion of a persuasive essay? Let's see if you're right. 1, a summary of the information you've presented in your essay. 2, a restatement of your point of view and the purpose in writing the essay. Number 2, how could the author have connected the ideas in the essay to a larger idea? Think of your answer, maybe jot down your thoughts. Let's check. The author talks about a specific animal shelter. A sentence in the conclusion about the benefits of adopting from any community animal shelter would connect this essay to a larger idea. Slide 4. Anytime you creating a bibliography. Anytime you write an essay that uses sources other than your own knowledge, you need to give credit for those sources. To do this, you will create a bibliography. Examine the sample bibliography entries for more information on how to cite your sources. Goodness gracious. So bibliography. Always indicate your bibliography page with the title Bibliography. Then you're going to want these to appear. Notice in alphabetical order. These don't. Really, this one should be first, followed by this one, followed by this one, and then this one last. But I'm not going to be too picky on this as long as you're putting it on there. I just want to see that you have the author, the name of the piece, and if it has any publishers or where it was published, the year, and that it is print. It's a physical copy like a book or a magazine. This other one, again, has an author. It has a title. Since it's in quotes, it's probably a magazine article. It's an article out of an encyclopedia. It was published in Washington, D.C. by National Geographic Society in the year 2007. They found it on page 30 and print because National Geographic books are small books. This next one, it looks like it is the web. So it's something that they found on the internet. So it gave the title of the web of the article, then the title of the page that it was found on, the year it was published, the web, and then the date. The 26th, the date comes first. The day, the month, and the year, followed by a period. And then this one is a speech. So they put the person that gave the speech, the name of the speech, and the title of the speech, where the speech took place, and what date the speech took place. And they put that it was a speech at the end. That was print, web, and the date accessed, and speech. That's how it's done. If you have any other questions about citing, Purdue OWL is a great resource to check, or MLA.com. You can also just ask me. Come to Help Lab, or email or call me. Slide 5. Typing your paper. You are required to do a lot of typing for school papers and projects, but you also use typing skills in your everyday lives when you create an email or enter information into your phone or website. Many jobs also require good keyboarding skills. The best way to type efficiently is to touch type. When touch typing, each of your 10 fingers has its own place on the keyboard. Touch typing allows you to type without looking at your keyboard. Instead, you can follow along on your screen and catch errors as you type. I can touch type up to 72 words per minute, sometimes 76 if I really get in the zone. A good program I recommend to learn how to touch type is typing.com, typingclub.com, typingclub.com. If you don't know how to touch type, your school may offer a course in typing or keyboarding. Instructional software programs are also available. There are sites on the internet that teach touch typing, but make sure you check with a parent or guardian before accessing a site you're not familiar with. For this assignment, your goal is to type 3 pages in one sitting. Okay, I'm not giving that assignment. It's also very important that your essay is formatted correctly so it can be easily understood by your teacher. To learn about formatting and finding out how to format your essay, click each of the links below. So your page layout. The page layout refers to how your page looks on the screen and what it looks like when it's printed out. The first big choice you make for your page layout is your orientation of your page, either portrait, up and down, or landscape, sideways. For this essay, be sure to set your orientation to portrait so that it's tall, not long ways. The other big choice to make for your page layout is the margin of the page. This tells your word processor how much space to leave around the edge of your paper. For this essay, set your margin to 1 inch on all sides. That's generally the standard, but you can check in your word processing to just be sure that it is 1 inch on all sides. Paragraph formatting. The paragraph format refers to how each paragraph is aligned and spaced. The alignment can be left, center, or right. For this essay, set the alignment to left. The spacing allows you to leave spaces between lines of your paragraph and at the end of your paragraph to make it easier to read. For this essay, set your line spacing for double, which will leave a full space between each line, and set you after spacing for auto, which will leave a slightly larger space between the paragraphs. I'm not going to mess with that because since I'm not grading a physical paper, it's going to be informative. That part is important. Font formatting. The font formatting refers to how the letter, numbers, and symbols look on the screen and on your paper. There are thousands of fonts, but for an essay like this one, you want to choose a font that's easy to read and can be taken seriously. Choose Times New Roman or Arial will be fine as well. You are also able to make your font larger or smaller. Larger are easy to read, but you can waste screen space and paper, while smaller fonts save space but are more difficult to read. For this essay, choose the font size of 12. You could do 11 or 12. 11 is the standard now. It used to be 12. So 11 or 12 will be fine. There are many other choices you can make for your fonts, but do not do so unless instructed by your teacher. Okay, and we're doing that, so we're going to move on. Assignment Persuasive Essay Rough Draft. You have narrowed your topic, gathered information, created an outline, and reviewed the essential elements of a persuasive essay. It's time to begin writing your rough draft. Review the assignment carefully before begin drafting. To begin, download the assignment and rubric. This assignment will be graded based on the assignment rubric. Remember to complete your bibliography. Although this is a rough draft, try to pay attention to mechanics as you write. When you have completed your rough draft, submit your assignment for grading along with your outline. Again, you do not need to submit your outline to me or your rough draft. If you would like for me to look it over, you may email it to me. But please do go over it with your learning coach and make sure that they feel like you're ready to start on your final draft. You need to have this ready to go when you come back from spring break next week. So if you need a little more time on this than you've had to work on it this week, take over spring break to write a good rough draft. But just be sure that you have it completed and ready for editing Monday morning. All right. And I've already brought these up and we went over the assignment and rubric. So just look over it. If you have any questions, you know how to reach out to me. And that's it. So yes, please, if you have any questions, you can join me in Help Lab, or you can email me at ljordan@tvahallsville.org, or you can call me at 254-307-0033. As always, if your learning coach has not opted you in for phone calls and text message back from me, be looking at checking your email for my response, and or I may reach out to your learning coach. So let them know. All right, I hope you find this tutorial video helpful, and good luck writing your persuasive essay. I can't wait to see what you are going to choose to write about. See you next time. Bye.